everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another DIY. Now today we're going to make some pinwheels, and this is just some of the stuff that I took out to try to play with it and make some pinwheels. So I got some tulle in white, and I have different color of tulle, so if I find that I need a different color I'll just go get it, but just different tools. I got this on eBay. It was like $2 or $3 a roll, and I think, yeah, there's 25 yards, so I'll have tulle forever, and I got it in different colors. Then I went to like the dollar store, and like we have a party store here too, like birthday party store, and I got some streamers, some crepe paper, and that too I got in different colors. They were like $1 each, so perfect for, you know, doing your own embellishments. And then if you remember the last time when I did the flares, I punched out a whole bunch of different things with my dies and my punches. So I still have that. So I'm going to keep that out in case I want to use it. Again, I'm taking out my little word stickers, not picking any in particular. I just grabbed whatever was on top, and now I'm going to go with it. I got some brads, just a bunch of brads, and then just some regular brads. Like these have little images on them, and these are just like straight colors. These are from Close to My Heart, and these are from October Afternoon and Echo Park. So there's that. And then I just grabbed some punches, a 2-inch circle punch, my pink circle, and then if I need more butterflies, I got my butterfly punch. Now the last thing I got, my preferred sort of papers for doing pinwheels is 6x6 pattern papers that are double-sided. I like 6x6 because the pattern is tighter, and you know, then they show a little bit more on the pinwheel. So, and then of course you need some adhesive of some kind. I'll probably just take out my Stampin' Up! Snail adhesive because it's closer, and then if you want to, you can get some wet glue also and use that. So if there's more stuff that and then inks if you want to, you know, ink the edges and all that. But if I think of something else as I'm making these, then I'll just say it during the voiceover. But for now, we're going to get going, and we're going to get some pinwheels done.
So, okay, here we go. So the first thing I did was I went through my 6x6 pattern papers, and like I said at the beginning, the reason I like the 6x6 is that the pattern is smaller, and the ones to play with, I guess, or to use is the ones that are double-sided. So when you actually flip and make your pinwheel, you're going to get two different pattern papers. Now, I don't know if I was doing pinwheels for the whole community, but I'm going to end up cutting a whole bunch of them. And it's just such a fun process, you know, you just start cutting and cutting, and then so I was just cutting a whole bunch of them, and some of them I did 1.5 by 1.5. So that's the first step, is you gotta cut some squares in half, or not in half. You choose a size and then you go with it. So I did some 1.5 by 1.5 and 2 by 2. And then I decided to ink all the edges of all the pattern papers before I did anything else. So I have to say that I did speed this up ×8 because, like I said, I don't know how many pinwheels I thought I was going to make, but look at the amount of pattern papers that I have there. So now I'm just using different inks. I used the blue for the blue papers. Now I'm using brown for, I had some brown pattern papers, and I'm going to use brown on the yellow pattern papers too. And then once I'm done with that, then I'll do the pink. And I'm using mostly Hero Arts ink. They're my favorite inks. And so that's the first thing I did. Now you could, you know, measure everything to a T when you do the next part and use a ruler. But really, I find the best way is just to get your scissors and just go with it. So once everything is all inked, I'm going to put my inks away. Wash my hands because my hands are full of ink. And basically you go to all 4 corners and you make a slit towards the middle. And of course, you don't make it so that all four join in the middle, because then you'll cut it right in four pieces. But you make it so that it's almost to the middle, and it doesn't have to be precise, because once you put your pinwheels together, you can't tell if it's a little crooked. So that's why I don't mind not having to measure or anything. I just basically go from a corner and cut towards the middle and just do all four sides. Now, the way I like to do these kinds of embellishments, whenever I do a set of embellishments, is I like to do quite a bit of them. And you have all the tools out, and you kind of have your mindset going with that specific embellishment. So that's why I think I cut so many of them. But I think with this video, what I end up doing is about 7 or 8 of them. And so now you just start folding the edges. So it doesn't matter where you start, but once you start folding, you skip one and fold the next one. And by the time you go all the way around, you should have 4 folded in, and then it looks like a pinwheel. Now you can make it so that you, as you're pushing down, you actually square off the edges, like make it flat, or you can make it so that it's rounded, so that you don't push down, and it's got a little bit of a round effect. Now I personally prefer that everything is squished down, because it makes it easier, one, to fold, to glue it in together, and then also it makes it easier to add your brad and add everything else. Now what I decided to do is not just do a pinwheel. I took out my 2-inch punch, and I'm punching a 2-inch punch of coordinating papers, and I'm using it as a background. And I really like that. And then I have a bunch of brads that were from close to my heart. They've been in my stash forever. So now, I've used a few of them. And again, I use the word stickers and some enamel dots. And, it makes really cute embellishments. Now I think the pinwheels are super cute, but I found what finished it for me, like finished them, was to add that 2-inch circle in behind them, and it just kind of grounds the whole thing, and it just makes them stick out even more. And I just use coordinating colors, and the fact that these 6x6 pattern papers are double-sided really makes it a whole lot easier. And I ended up using some brads for the center of all of them. And I have so many brads. Way back when the brads were in, I got a ton of brads, and now they're still sitting there. So this is a way for me to use those brads. I have the smaller brads that are from close to my heart, and then I have the bigger brads that are in those brad packages. A lot of them came from October Afternoon, Echo Park, like that came with collections. So making your own embellishments is a great way to be using up some of the supplies that have maybe just sitting there and don't get the attention that it used to be. So it's a great way to bring some older supplies sort of back on the table and get to use them. And so I'm trying to use some of that crepe paper. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could make a little flag, but it doesn't work. I'm gonna move on to something else. And so I want to use some tulle and some crepe paper, and I'm still going to end up using it, but just in a different way. I'm just going to glue it down to some paper, and then I'm going to punch it out. So at this point, I got the video going ×8, because like I said, it was so relaxing to do these that I just wanted to do a whole bunch. I had to stop myself at either 8 or 10, but I had cut, as you can tell to the left there, a little pile of squares, and I got it all ready. So now if I want to make some pinwheels, I can just grab that. I have all those in my container, and I can just make some more. But I decided to just go with the 8, and once I have those used up, then I can make some more, because I'm keeping all my extra all the embellishments that I'm making in one container. So I don't want to, every time I make a DIY to have, 25 of them. So I'm kind of limiting myself to 8 to 10. But I've already used a couple or one or two of these on layouts, and they are so fun to use. And as I was this morning laying down, I was thinking, wouldn't that be cute if you just had a whole bunch of those, either to the right of the page or the left of the page, and with some stems so that they would look like flowers, and then you could have your photo off to, the opposite side, and just have like a big title. I think that would look so cute. And just do them different size. You can make some at 2 inches, 1.5, 1 inch, and have them spread out different heights, and they would look like little flowers. So I think that would be so cute. I'll probably have to do that very soon. I thought I was done and kind of walked away and said, okay, that's it. And then the next day I was like, I want to make some more. I didn't make enough. I think I only made like maybe 5 or 6. So I came back and I did a couple, and I knew I wanted to, like I said, wanted to use the tool. So I just cut some just around, so it fits around the circle, and it just gives it a nice little dimension in the background. And then I thought maybe I could put 2 circles, but I decided against it. And actually the one that I'm doing right now is, I think, the one that I end up using on a layout a couple days later. So I'm going through the squares, trying to see, which other one I'd wanted to make. I want to make some pinwheels where I didn't put them on a circle, but I really, really like them on a circle. So I ended up putting all of them on a circle, but definitely you wouldn't have to put them on a circle. So this is how I'm going to use the crepe paper. It's just white crepe paper. I just glued it down to some leftover cardstock. I decided to go with brown because the pinwheel was brown and brown earthy colors, I guess. And I really like the texture that it leaves in the background. And I'm going to add some inks, add a brad, add a couple of words, and now I'm looking at some punched out little embellishments, or I guess cutouts, that I had done for one of the DIYs, and I still keep them in a little, it's a 2-inch or 3-inch bottle cap, and I like to put my embellishments in there. And I just decided to use, I think it was a little heart. And now I'm just going through some more of the papers just to see what I could use as a 2-inch circle in behind one of the one of the pinwheels. They're kind of addictive to make. Once you make a few, you just want to, like I said, keep making them. They're a lot of fun, and they make a great statement on your page. Like, it's because especially the 2-inch ones, they're nice and big, so they do fill up quite, it's basically like your whole embellishment is all done. So if I make a spot for 3 embellishments, that pretty much covers one of the spots for the embellishments. And I think that's going to be it. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.